Tiffany Henyard? Doesn't surprise me, guys. Listen, Dalton Mayer pays makeup artists with taxpayer dollars. Listen. If you follow the story about what's actually been happening out there, you'll start to realize instantly, right, that she pays for a lot of things out of taxpayer dollars. Right? I'm still interested about that trip to Las Vegas she took, guys. Right? There's a lot of craziness, bro. But all right, listen. Suggestion via Discord. Let's go check this out, guys.
Right now at 4:30, disorder in the village of Dalton that we've been covering for months is now impacting other suburbs where Mayor Tiffany Henyard also has a leadership role. Henyard is also the supervisor of Thornton Township, which includes a total of 17 towns.
Elected officials are speaking out about budgets, federal probes, and financial records. Regina Waldrop is in Markham with more on that story.
You guys have been led astray. You have been bamboozled. You have been hooded.
Dalton, not the only community concerned about self-titled super mayor Tiffany Henyard.
If she speaks out loud one more time, you remove her.
The mayor of Markham questioning her decisions and her leadership. Henyard has dual roles, mayor and Thornton Township supervisor.
I'm standing with the full force of this government here, and I don't see that happening in Thornton Township. I don't see it happening in Dalton either.
17 communities make up Thornton Township, representing more than 158,000 people. And this township, also a taxing body. Right now, the township is without a budget. It was to be approved May 31st, but was tabled.
That budget needs to be looked into much deeper.
Aldermen say they're being inundated.
Bro, is she still locking people out of offices, guys?
With calls from taxpayers.
I hear it every day. There is no transparency within our township.
Henyard is at the center of a wide-ranging federal investigation and a number of lawsuits.
At some point, there needs to be some oversight, and someone has to get to the bottom of what and why these things are happening.
Questions are also...
Yeah, bro, she's acting as if there is no one above her. She's acting as if there's no one that can do anything, not a single thing. Guys, follow the story, follow the money. You'll start to realize how corrupted looks from the outside, allegedly, obviously.
And someone has to get to the bottom of what and why these things are happening.
Questions are also being raised about Henyard using taxpayer dollars for personal expenses, including her makeup artist. This itemized payroll sheet for the township from May of last year lists Brandon Moman as an administrative assistant. But when we reached out to him, he told us he's Henyard's makeup artist. Chris Gonzalez is a Thornton Township trustee.
Once again, well, he's being paid $3,000 a month.
A long
to do her
series,
makeup.
Unfortunately, of things that just seem to be done incorrectly or possibly
wrong,
illegally.
We reached out to Henyard's administration for comment, but didn't hear back.
You won't
Today,
hear
Governor
back.
Pritzker shared his thoughts on Tiffany Henyard and whether the state should step in.
There is an investigation that's been called for, and now I know there was a veto that was overridden that will now allow that investigation to go forward.
Reporting from Markham, I'm Regina Waldrop, NBC5 News.
Thanks to Regina. She's worked hard on that story.
Okay, let's go. We're here. We're not going anywhere.
Governor, are you monitoring what's going on in Dalton and Thornton Township and leadership there? Are you concerned? Taxpayers seem very worried. There's chaos at meetings. What can be done? Could you play a role in stepping in some way? What's your take on the situation?
So I've looked at that question, whether the state should and can play a role. The federal authorities, as you may know, are involved and investigating. I've read that. I think that's a public piece of information.
Yeah, it's open.
There
everyone
is an
knows
investigation that's been called for, and now I know there was a veto that was overridden that will now allow that investigation to go forward with former Mayor Lori Lightfoot in charge of that. I think that those are two pretty good authorities for looking into this, investigating it, and getting to the truth. We'll support them. Well, we looked at whether we ought to put resources, whether it's state police and their anti-corruption efforts, or asking the Attorney General.
So basically, he doesn't want himself to look terrible. Here's the thing, bro. Listen, you're gonna have to do something. You're the governor. Like, if anyone can do it, it's you. You can stop this kind of like right now, right? The amount of evidence that is piling up, like all of the people that surround her that are not on her payroll strongly detest her, right? Money is going missing. Improper use of taxpayer funds. This is reality here. All right? You have to do something. Don't pass the buck here.
The reality is that there are already two pretty significant investigations going on, and so we'll support them in every way that we can. But it's really just a matter of, do you want everybody running over each other in those investigations, or do you want two concerted efforts toward getting the facts?
Continue watching for previous coverage. We're here. We are still here.
And chaos, confusion, and police rushing in to remove people from a suburban Dalton building.
This all happened last night after a majority of trustees voted for Chicago's former mayor, Lori Lightfoot, to continue her investigation of Dalton's current mayor, Tiffany Henyard. NBC5's Regina Waldrop has more on what happens next.
Dalton's Village Hall.
Hello. Nobody's gonna be hurt if you keep talking.
A hotbed of
nobody wants to hear you, though.
Activity Monday night with a village board meeting that went off course.
This is the mayor's private security. All the police in the area act just as that, it seems.
Former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot was there.
Okay, nobody gonna speak. We gonna clear the room in a minute.
Briefly addressing residents before her mic was shut off.
Okay. Even though they turned the mics off, we will continue working on behalf of the residents
Guys.
of Dalton, and we will give you the facts that you deserve.
Why would we pay anybody any money if y'all have the actual people, meaning the FBI's here? So why would we waste money?
Before the meeting was stopped, a majority of trustees voted to override a recent veto by the mayor, allowing Lightfoot to continue her investigation into Tiffany Henyard, who's accused of misspending and also at the center of a number of lawsuits and a wide-ranging federal probe. Lightfoot in a statement writing, "I look forward to the work ahead and urge Mayor Henyard and her administration to fully cooperate with this investigation."
They're not.
By promptly providing the requested documentation to give all concerned a complete and accurate accounting of the fiscal conditions for the village. During public comment, residents had a lot to say about the village's finances, investigations, and the fact that barricades were put up around Village Hall before the meeting.
I think it's so horrible that this mayor will use her police department to block all the parking spaces so the elderly and the handicapped people have to walk a block to get to this meeting.
Guys.
Also happening at that meeting, Mayor Henyard struck down the recent appointment of trustee Jason House as mayor pro tem. The next Dalton Village Board meeting is set for June 17th. Regina Waldrop, NBC5 News.
Regina, you are on the story. We appreciate it. It's Friday night. Welcome. Good evening. I'm Stefan Holtz.
And I'm Allison Rosati. We begin with something unexpected. A rescheduled budget hearing brings
Guys, I honestly think that this is probably one of the most corrupt mayors in the United States of America. Easily. Guys, if you've never heard anything about this story, please, I beg of you, just Google the mayor of this area, Dalton Township. Please, have fun. Lose your mind.
Lots of fireworks in South Suburban Thornton Township, where a new budget was approved just a short time ago. Now, residents had lots of questions about spending and the township supervisor, Tiffany Henyard, who's also the mayor of Dalton. Our Regina Waldrop's been on this story from the very beginning. She joins us now live with the latest.
All right, let's go.
Regina.
Allison, I have covered a lot of budget meetings, and this one that just wrapped up a short time ago, anything but boring. There was clapping, shouting, screaming, and then there were police. They were on the ready to escort people out of the meeting.
Read for yourself. Remove her. Remove her. Remove her. Remove her. Like, you gotta go.
This budget meeting, anything but typical.
You have been led astray. You have been bamboozled. You have been hoodwinked.
Oh yeah? The whole country has, yeah?
Thornton Township residents from several South Suburban communities filled the room, and they had lots to say.
Because what we're not going to do is we're not going to be homeless behind her raising our taxes. And you said that you have good business skills, then you should take a look at the budget again.
You are a public servant. You
Bro.
serve us.
Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard is also...
She doesn't even care what they're saying. Just be fully straight tyrant behavior.
The mayor of Dalton. She is the focus of a wide-ranging FBI investigation. She's also being sued by several Dalton employees, current and former. Residents say there are concerning issues with the township's spending and other areas of township government.
There are so many red flags.
People
Too
are just
many.
so tired of this whole situation with the not being transparent. And for Dalton, I can speak for Dalton, we don't know what's going on with our money at all.
Henyard makes $224,000 a year in her township supervisor job. In December, the Board of Trustees passed an ordinance that some called outlandish. It states that if Henyard runs for re-election in 2025 and loses, her successor's salary would drop to only $25,000 a year.
What does that say? All right. You raise your salary to a certain amount of money. Okay. And now everyone else around you is like, okay, well, great. I'll also run for the same position because we're going to be making really good money. But no, if you run against her, you're going to make $25,000. She changed it, guys, right? She did that, guys. Listen, that cannot be fair. All right. So who's going to want this job now? $25,000 a year? Bro, stop playing. Stop playing. No one's going to run against her.
But a bill passed in Springfield this week would undo that ordinance and make sure a move like this doesn't happen in the future.
Okay, that's good. At the very least.
And that bill did pass in both houses, and right now all it needs is the signature of the governor. And here's what we still don't know tonight: the total amount of the spending plan that was approved. We're still trying to find that number. I'm live in South Holland tonight. Regina Waldrop, NBC5 News.
Regina, thank you.
Guys, I'm absolutely happy that there's an update in this story because, guys, a couple of months ago, I found out about who this person was, right? And then I went ahead and I dug super deep into the story. It's a full-blown rabbit hole of absolute, what looks to be corruption, all right? Allegedly, right? It looks really weird. The amount of red flags that pop up while looking at anything involving this situation, it's wild. There have been gigantic channels that have gone out here to try to interview her, right? And for some reason, her security force comes straight out. They forget about the First Amendment very fast, guys, right? But yeah, this is a very troubling situation, and I don't think that any city or township deserves to have someone that is just basically taking money from them, allegedly. All right? But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.